this recap video. This is from the 27th of July, so last class in July.
Yeah.
So we've done classes all the way from April, May, June, and now July. And it looks like all sensible tango clubs are also probably going to be going through August as well.
Yeah.
So, in today's class, this was probably the hardest class we've done yet in one of these. We did back ochos, not that difficult. Overturn back ochos, followers, reverse sacadas, quite difficult, especially for solo dancers to practice, but we did have some exercise which we'll go over in this recap, obviously. And then we finished off with a followers, gancho, but from the overturn position, so unusual one.
Mm-hmm.
So we started off with again into the back ocho. So we did it in an unusual way today, because when we do these reverse sacadas, we need to make sure the leader is giving the follower enough room. So we also need a very flexible embrace. So from the back ocho, we're going to take a side balance onto the right foot, left foot is free. We're then going to move our chest to the left. This is how we lead a side step in a hero. As you do this, I'm going to change my weight onto my left foot. I'm going to pivot my follower through 90 degrees and then change my weight onto my right foot. So I can change this change of weight as a very small side step to left. This means my follower is now on my left hand side. I can now go into my normal back ochos. I take a side step to the left, pivoting my follower. Notice how far outside me she is. Take my side step to the right, side step to the left, and pivoting the follower. So as you can see, compared to our normal back ochos, the follower is offset, which normally requires us to be a little bit more open in the embrace as well. If you want to make these overturned, as I turn my follower, I over pivot her, step backwards with my side step, and overturn it. We're going to have a bit of room, but you get the general idea. We didn't spend too much on this time because what we wanted to do was actually do a lot of solo exercises to get people into this. So people talk about dissociation in tango a lot, so we have to dissociation to keep our chests together, to rotate. But many dancers don't actually fully explore this, which is odd because quite a lot of teachers spend a lot of time teaching dissociation and then it gets wasted.
Yes, yeah.
If you really want to use it properly, this is the next move. So for the leaders, what we're doing is we're going to take the side step to the left. I've still got the high vis bands on my right leg, and as I step to the left, I'm going to sink down very slightly into my left leg and leave my right leg trailing. I'm then going to twist my chest, keep my hips as facing forward, and take my chest as far right as possible. So this really does build up the dissociation with the chest. We can pivot very slightly on the balls of the feet to turn and help us get around if you are struggling with this. We can also imagine it, because we're in Wales and we're a Welsh Tango Club, you can imagine your Gareth Edwards playing rugby in the 70s and pushing the ball out to the fly half. So, Welsh culture in there, so hopefully. From the follower's point of view, from doing these overturned back ochos, Alison will talk through these very briefly.
Yeah, so we're getting into those ochos. At this point, we're going to feel that overturned ocho. So we're going to take, basically, instead of pivoting to here, we're going to pivot even further. So I'm still keeping my chest with my leader, but my hips are coming basically away from my chest, so that we can take that back step into him. So I've really turned around, got lots of torsion in my spine.
So there are a few cheats we can do for this move, and we'll talk through these. They're not really cheats, they are essentially technique, but it's understanding the technique. So we'll talk through this as we do this. So I've got my follower into this ocho, which we described earlier. I'm now going to leave my right leg trailing as I take my side step to the left. I'm not going to close it together as I pivot my follower. I'm going to twist her and then pivot her back, and she's going to step back as if she's aiming to between my legs, and this comes down to me rotating her enough to guide her. This is where the cheat comes into this. So if I just lead her through this, as she transfers her way back, I can sweep my leg back and out of the way. With all sacadas, we don't have to make contact with the leg. It's the motion of the, in this case the follower, transferring their weight onto their leg, and the release of the momentum through me that allows me to, well, sorry, not the momentum, the release of the inertia, the release of that coil that I've got from my own back twisted, and the follower's own mass stepping back, which causes me to rotate and gain that angular momentum. So in tango, you'll hear this: you should not lead with your arms, you lead with the chest. Partially correct. You should lead with the chest, and the lead comes from the chest, so it starts with the chest, then your arms are connected, therefore they are leading, or part of the leading mechanism.
Your arms are an extension of your chest.
Which also means that when we initiate with our chest, when we get to the full extent, if we want to go a little bit further, we can move the arms then and use that for the lead, and that's the lead we use in sacadas as well. So it is actually accepted tango technique, although it has this idea of not leading with the arms at all, has sort of come into it and been misinterpreted. It's normally been misinterpreted because dancers from other Latin dances or hand-led dances will try and lead with the arms first, so to try and get around that. So be careful.
And it's easier for teachers to say, just don't use your arms at all, rather than discuss how it all actually works together as one.
So we can move the arm at the very end just to get that extra bit of momentum, which is what we use for this next part. So we've got the reverse sacada. We can modify this into the reverse gancho. So same start, we've got this rotation. Instead of letting the follower step back between my legs, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pivot her and move her to step back. I'm going to move my right leg to make contact with the follower's leg. And ideally I want to try and get it by the knee, so as I lift my chest now, that leg's going to come up, I'm going to get a little gancho behind and move off. This is quite awkward to do straight off, but it'll get you used to the position. What's an easier way of doing this is to chain these two together now with reverse ocho, overturn it, get your sacada. As the follower comes round in a hero, as she steps into the side step phase, ready to go into the back step phase, if I have my leg already ready to go round her, so it's already in that position, I don't have to move it forward, I can get to my gancho, take her out and walk out, and it becomes quite a nice little combination to do, very usual. At the end of the class we discussed the variation of this, which is a nutcracker gancho, which lots of show dancers do. It is what it is. We find these ones are nicer and a bit more fluid for social dancing, hence why we taught it. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for following Urban Tango Nights on our social media channels. If you are not already, please like our Facebook page, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, we're on Instagram, we're on newsletter. Please keep yourself safe. We don't want a second spike in this in the UK or anywhere, so be sensible. If you are going to dance classes, please make sure you observe all the COVID rules. We will be online every Monday throughout August and probably September as well. So
as long as it takes.
As long as it takes to keep you safe.
Yeah.
So again, thank you for watching. Keep yourself safe, and we'll see you next week. Thank you for watching this Urban Tango Nights recap. If you like these videos, please subscribe to our channel by clicking the logo. You can find more of our class summaries down here and other videos of us dancing tango over here. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Meetup. Links are in the description below, and you can also subscribe to our newsletter using the link below.